ಎನ್ ಎಸ್ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಾಧ್ಯಯನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ನಂಜನಗೂಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಬ್ರಹ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಶ್ರೀಕಂಠ ಘನಪಾಠಗಳು ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಜುರ್ವೇದವನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳೆದ 23 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಯೋಗಧಾಮದ ಸಂಯೋಜಕರು. ಪ್ರಸಕ್ತ ಇಂದಿನ ವಿಷಯ ವೈದಿಕ ನಿರ್ವಚನಂ, ವೈದಿಕ ನಿರುಕ್ತ with special emphasis or reference to Krishna Yajurveda. He is also presenting his dissertation under the guidance of Dr. P. Ramanuja.
Veda Shakhopajeevitam Shastra Pushpa Samayuktam Vidvad Bhramara Shobhitam Vande Satpurushan Loke Gunagrahana Tatparanne Rajahamsani Vajalat Kshiragrahana Kovidanne यो वेदादो स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः. नमः परमर्षिभ्यः नमः सभायै नमः सदसस्पतये. The Vedas, which are said to be the very breath of Bhagavan, yasya nishvasitam vedaha yo vedebhyo akhilam jagat nirmame tamaham vande vidyatirtha maheshwaram. Along with the Vedas, the Vedangas also are to be studied by one and all. In Niruktam itself, it is told that साक्षात्कृत धर्माणः ऋषयः बभूवुः ते अवरेभ्यः असाक्षात्कृत धर्मभ्यः उपदेशेन मंत्रान् संप्रादुः उपदेशाय ग्लायन्तः अवरे बिल्वग्रहणाय इमं ग्रन्थं समाम्नासिषुः वेदं वेदांगानि च. At one time, when the rishis themselves could cognize the self, could understand with their inward experience, they brought out the Vedas. But as and when the time passed, the people were incapable of understanding all these things because of the shortcoming in their tapasya. Therefore, the rishis, to help them out to understand the Vedas, the meaning, and for the right interpretation of the Vedas, they brought in what is called as the Vedangas. These Vedangas are 6 in number: Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandaha, Niruktam, Jyotisham Tatha Kalpascheti Shadangani Vedasyahur Manishinaha. The next slide, sir. No, previous one. Previous one, sir. Yeah, that's it. Now, the Vedas and the Vedangas are having the Angangi Bhavas. The Vedangas are the Angas of Vedas. Shiksha, Ghranantu, Vedasya, etc. has been told here. As all the sense organs work, give the inputs to the Atman and are the well-wishers of Atman, similarly, these Vedangas ultimately depict or help us for the right interpretation of the Vedas. This Shiksha Ghranantu Vedasya Hasto Kalpotha Pathyate Jyotishamayanam Netram Mukham Vyakaranam Smritam Chandah Padot Vedasya Niruktam Shotramuchyate Tasmat Sangamadhityeva Brahmaloke Mahiyate. This is a Rupaka, and this Rupaka is one which can be cognized by the rishis within themselves. the yogis do this particular thing, have experienced this particular thing well within themselves. This is a Rupaka which can be cognized in the Tapobhumika. This was an information which was given to us by our spiritual master Sriranga Mahaguru. Now the Vedas have, since these are the Angas, they all have originated from the Vedas. We have some examples here. The Taittiriya Upanishad which says Shiksham Vyakhya Syamaha Varnasvaraha Matra Balam Samasantanaha Ityukta Shiksha Dhyayaha. This has inspired Vyasa Maharshi and Panini Maharshi to write their Shiksha Shastra and the Vyakarana Shastra. The various meters which are used like Anushtup, Gayatri, Brihati, Trishtup, Jagati has inspired Pingalacharya to write Chanda Shastra. The Nakshatreshti which comes in the Taittiriya Brahmana dealing with all the constellations from Kritika to Bharani is the source for Jyotish Shastra. The various forms of yajnas enumerated like Agnihotra, Darshapurnamasa, Chaturmasya, Pashubandha, Jyotishtoma, etc. have given rise to Kalpa Shastra. Similarly, Niruktam is also one which is a Vyakhyana or a commentary written by Yaska Maharshi, and this commentary is on the Panchadhyayi Nighantu written by Kashyapa Maharshi. Here in front of this august gathering, I would like to enumerate a few examples wherein we come to know that these Niruktas are also the Nirvachanas which are told, the etymologies which are expressed, have also the origin in the Vedas. These have inspired Yaska Maharshi to further state that Namani Akhyata all the words, so to say, are derived from the Namapadas, are derived from the roots, the Dhatus. He further deciphers a lot of different methods to establish the same. Here, I want the next slide, sir. Here, in the Vedas, we find the mantras, the nirvachanas of mantras we find, nirvachanas of yajnas we find, the devatas, nirvachanas of nakshatras with special connotations, the different ahutis we find, and yajna sadhanas which are required to perform a yajna. All these things, in Vedas itself we find that the nirukti, the nirvachana has been derived. The next slide. The nirvachana of mantras, you all know that this is a very famous mantra. We call it as Jayadi. Jayanam Jayatvam. At the end of any of the Homa, we find the statement which says that Etat karma samruddhyartam sruvena Jayadi homam karishye. The Jayadi are the 13 mantras like Chittancha Swaha and other things. Yet Jayaihi Ajayanne tad Jayanam Jayatvam proclaims the Vedas. Jayati Parasenam Yetaihi iti Jayaha Jayate Bhratravyaha Yebihi iti Jayaha Bhattabhaskara. By these mantras, by chanting these mantras and performing the ahutis, the rishis, they were victorious. This is the derivation. We find that once again all these are derived from the roots only. Jayati or Jayate Parasenam Etaihi iti Jayaha Jayate Bhratravyaha Yebihi iti Jayaha. Next slide please. Next one is the Abhyatananam Abhyatanatvam. That is Agnir Bhutanam. All these mantras, Agnir Bhutanam, Adhipati Samavat, Asmin Brahman, Asmin Kshatriya, Asyam, Ashishyam, Parodhayam, Asmin Karman, Asyam, Devahu, Tyagaswaha. These mantras are 17 in numbers and they are called as Abhyatana mantras. Abhyatanvate, Abhimukhyena, आनीयते भ्रातृव्यः येभिः इति अभ्यातानाः दे अभ्यातन्वता येभिः इति अभ्यातानत्वम्. नेक्स्ट, राष्ट्रभृतः राष्ट्रभृत्वम्. By these mantras, these are the 22 mantras, Rashada, Ratashad, Ratadham, Agnihi. These mantras, by performing yajna with the help of these mantras, Rashtram Bhratravyasya Bhriyate Atmana Dhriyate Yebihi iti Rashtrabhratvam. By this, the Devas conquered the territories of the Asuras. Therefore, it is called as Rashtrabhratva. This is the Rashtrabhratvaness of the Rashtrabhat mantras. Next. Tad apratiratasya apratirathatvam. Ashashishano. These mantras are said to be the apratiratha mantras. Pratipakshaha yatra nasti tat apratiratham. A person who is victorious, who is enemyless, who destroys his enemies, these are the mantras which do help them to do so. Yatha kaschit na shishyate tatha asuran ajayat tat apratiratham. The Devas, with the help of these mantras, destroyed the asuras totally. Pratikula rathaha yatra nasti tat apratiratham. This is also another derivation. Next one. Praishanam Praishatvam. Hota Yaksha Didaspate. These mantras are said to be the Praisha mantras. Here there is, when they do give some kind of etymology, they do give some kind of context, some kind of stories are being narrated. Here, the Itivritta is like this. Agni, Dhata, Indra and Prajapati, wishing fame along with prosperity, they started performing a yajna. They decided that he will be the king to whom the fame goes first. It so happened that the fame and prosperity went to Soma first. Soma, wishing to have that fame and prosperity to himself, he did flee away from that particular place. Gods tried to find him out, and the way in which they found out these the existence of Soma, where actually he has gone, for this they used these mantras, Praisha mantras. Therefore, Preshyate ebhihi iti Praishaha, the derivation. The next one, it's Nividam Nivitvam. The same continues, the same context. With the help of Agne Mahanasi, this is called as the Nivit mantra. By the help of these, they found out Soma who had just disappeared and brought him. Therefore, Nivedyate ebhihi iti nivit. They came to know about Soma, where actually he had gone with the help of these mantras. Therefore, this is this nivitness of this Nivit mantras. Next. The Nirvachana of Chaturhotranam Chaturhotratvam. There are a few mantras wherein sometimes for any particular sacrifice to be performed, yajna to be performed, there are four important people. We call them as Brahma, Hotru, Agnidra and Adhvaryu. These are the four people. Sometimes the Vedas themselves have revealed these things in the form of mantras. They are Upalakshita. Such mantras are said to be Chaturhotru mantras. For example, Chittisruk. In this, we also have Prithvi Hota, Devradhvaryuhu, Rudro Ognit, Brihaspati Rupavakta. These mantras are said to be Chaturhotru mantras. Next. I would like to take up now the etymology of Devatas. It's next slide I want, sir. Agni Here I will be taking Agni, Indra, Yama and Parameshthi. Chityam is a name of Agni. But how did he get this name? Since the Devas had searched and brought Prajapati in the form of Agni, the name Chitya, one who has been searched. The story goes like this. Once Prajapati, having just created the human beings, entered them. Having entered, he could not come out. Therefore, he proclaimed, "He who brings me back in my original form will always prosper." The Devas, just listening to these, with the help of these mantras, they just brought him out. And they took the help of Agni, and therefore, Agni is said to be one who has been searched. Samhata Chayanat Chityatvam Agnehe. They brought Brahma in the form of Agni, therefore, Agni is said to be Chitya. Next slide, please. Now, Agni is also known as Rudra. Why? Here is a context which explains that the Devas kept all the wealth in Agni before fighting with the Asuras. They were thinking that if at all we are defeated, then we can always use this particular wealth. But it so happened they became victorious. They came back to Agni. They requested for their wealth, but Agni ran away with the wealth. The Devas, fortunately, since they could once again, they traced back the route and they found out Agni and they forcefully took the money, the wealth from them. By this, Agni was frustrated. He began to cry. Yato rodanam kritavan tat rudrasya rudratvam. Therefore, Agni is said to be Rudra. Next slide. The Nirvachana of Indra. Tad Indrasya Indratvam. Tan Deva Abruvanne. Tad Indrasya Indratvam. The word here, the Devas spoke to each other that no one can overcome the strength of Indra. The word Indriya, by the Rupa Samya, Akshara Samya, has changed to Indra. Here I would like to tell a particular thing here. Vyakarana Shastra definitely helps us in understanding the meaning of the word and whether the particular word is grammatically pure or not. But the purpose of the word is very beautifully brought out by this Nirukta. The Nirvachana, the contextual meanings can be understood, especially of the Vedas, we can understand that by this Nirvachanas only. Next one. Tan Mahendrasya Mahendratvam. Since Indra killed Vritra, he became Mahan. All the Devas proclaimed, "Oh, he is Mahan." Therefore, this is the greatness of Indra, Mahendraness of this Mahendra. Next. Indra Turiyasya Indra Turiyatvam. Devasuras, they had a fight. And once it so happened that the Devas said to Agni, "O Veera, you can suppress the Asuras, you have the capacity." Agni agreed. He took 3 forms. One was called as Agni himself, the second one was Rudra, the third one was Varuna. He asked, "Who will be the fourth?" Immediately Indra comes and says, "I will be the fourth one." Indraha Turiyaha Yasya Tat Rupam Indra Turiyatvam. This is Indra Turiyaness of Indra Turiya. Next. Yamasya Yamatvam. Once there was a conflict between the Devatas and Yama. Yamadharmaraya, with his power, he separated the Devas from the valor and their senses. Yavanat Yamaha. Va and Ma, because of the change, they do accept these things, especially in Niruktam. The that is the reason why he even in while enumerating the different methods of etymology, Yaska Maharshi says that however you try and see that the words are given the right meaning, and of course since all the roots are all the namapadas are derived from the roots, see that they are derived from the roots only. So there may be akshara vyatyasa also. We find in Aruna Prashna, Kashyapah Pashyako Bhavati Yat Sarvam Paripashyati Iti Saukshmyat. Kashyapa Maharshi, why the name Kashyapa Maharshi for Kashyapa Maharshi? Because when you just alter those two letters, Kashyapaha, Pashyakaha, he was one who had cognized the self inside. He had seen, he had the vision of Lord. To conceal that, the Rishis have brought out, this is the name Kashyapa Pashyako Bhavati. So similarly, we have different other things. I have another 5 minutes left. Then may I just go to the next slide, please. The Nirvachana of Yajnas, I would like to take up only one. Please, sir. Eshtayo havai nama, tadishtinam ishtitvam, eshtayo hi nama. Ishti is a particular yajna. There was a conflict between the Devatas and Asuras. Prajapati concealed Indra. Similarly, Prahlada also concealed his son Virochana. So Devas all went to Brahma and said, see, we don't have a leader and how can we fight? They told, you don't worry. You perform yajna wherein you can once again get back Indra. They performed Jyotishtoma, Uktya and other yajnas, but they did not. But at the same time, when they did perform Ishti, they got back Indra. Ejyate labhyate abhihi iti eshtayaha. The desired things people are going to get. That is why the name Ishti for Ishti. This is the Ishtiness of Ishti. I would like to take up next the Nakshatras. There are some special connotations. So, the next third slide probably. Nakshatras, Tadrohini, Rohinitvam. On a particular day wherein that particular nakshatra is there, the people who are desiring to obtain a particular thing should perform yajna or should do agni adhana. Here they say Prajapati Rohinyam Agni Masrajata Sarvan Rohan Rohati, etc. Rohanti Asyamiti Rohini. See, the words, the nouns are now being derived from the verbs only. They are trying to do that. He who generates Agni on this Rohini star day progresses. He climbs all altitudes. Next. Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. Yah kamayeta danakama me prajasyuriti. He who wishes that his children should become or his citizens should be prosperous, he should perform the Agni Adhana on this particular day and he will be blessed with all kinds of prosperity. And it is also used to suppress the enemies and to acquire wealth. Next. Chitta Nakshatram. Yaha Bhratravyavam Syat Sa Chitrayam Agnimadadhita. He who has enemies and who likes to subdue the enemies, on this particular day, he has to perform the yajna. He will be victorious. Then the next slide of Swati Nakshatra. He who wishes that his daughter should be always beloved and should be in the husband's house, should not return back, should always give his daughter in marriage on the day of this Swati Nakshatram. This is, as a matter of fact, Nishtya here also means Swati Nakshatra and the heart. She will definitely remain beloved to her husband throughout her life. Then this, the very next nakshatra, Abhijin nakshatra, is not told in that 27 nakshatras, but it is between the Uttarashadha nakshatra and the Shravana nakshatra. As you all know, during Griha Pravesha and other things, they do always prefer this Abhijin nakshatra because they will be victorious, they will emerge as conquerors. The next one is Shatabhisha nakshatra. I would not, since I don't have sufficient time, I would not like to elaborate on that. Next is Ashwini nakshatra. Then the nirvachana of yajna sadhanas. Here I would like to take up one or two only, even though I have prepared for 6 or 7. Tad antaryamasya antaryamatvam. The next slide, sir. Yes, sir. This is the antaryama nakshatra. Antaryama graha. It is called as a graha. This antaryama graha, here is a small incident. Once the asuras imitated the devas while they were performing yajnas, therefore the devas came to know about this and they hid the yajna in Upamshu graha. By this the asuras became very angry and they ran away from that particular place. They chased the devas and they wanted to kill the devas. At that time, Indra concealed them here, and this is what is called as Agrayana Graha. The Antaryama. Disappearing was resulted. This is why it is called as Antaryama Graha. Antaryamanam, Antardhanam tadyena bhavati sontardhanaha. This is the derivation which is given. Now, the next slide. The next one, Nirbadhanam Nirbadhatvam. Here is a weapon, a golden weapon which is generally used here. And Ekavigumshati Ekavigumshovai Etavanto Nirbadhaha, they say. So the 21, perhaps these are some kind of very deadly weapon which are used to stop the asuras getting into the Yajnashala or something like that. And the 21, the even and odd surfaces, we can call it as the Vedas themselves, they give the description when they say that the Dwadashamasa aha, Panchartavaha, the 12 seasons, the 12 months, 5 seasons, and the 3 lokas and 1 Surya. So this is this nirvachana of Nirbadha. Then we can further proceed. Nirvachana of oblations. Another 4 slides, sir, please. The oblations. The oblations, tat swishtakrata swishtakritvam, offering to Rudra in the form of Agni. This is said to be swishtakrit offering because it is that which yields. We offer the sacrifice to swishtakrit Agni so that the yajna becomes one which yields the desired fruits. Su ishtakrit, that which brings in all kinds of desired things. That is this swishtakritaness of this swishtakrit. The next one, Varuna Praghasa is a kind of grass which is offered to this Varuna. Therefore, it is called as Varuna Praghasa. It is actually used to, this is Varuna Praghasa, Prakrishtaha Ghasaha Bhaksha Visheshaha Mesha Sambandhi Yeshu Havir Vishesheshu, they call it as Praghasas. The next one is, the next slide please, Priyanga Havai Nama. There is a particular, in Kannada we call it as Navane. This is a kind of rice which is generally used. This has the capacity to join the limbs of the horses. So this is said to be, this is the significance of this Priyangaha. Priyangu Tandulairjuhoti, Priyanga Havaina Maite. Then, Anvaharya is also a kind of, the next slide please. Anvaharya is a kind of special food which is given. This also, at the time of any practice, even today we do practice whenever we have some puja at home or some yajna at home, we do serve food to everyone. This particular food is served to the Ritviks, that which helps the Yajamana, if at all any follies have been committed, any Nyunatirikta, that will be just made good by this serving of food. This is Anvaharyaha. This is Anvaharyaness of Anvaharya. With this, the next two slides, sir. I do express this gratitude to the management committee people who have just given me a chance. At the first time I could not do it because of some kind of technical problems. I thank our Mohan sir for helping me out in this presentation. Thank you one and all. I also express my special thanks to Dr. Kannan sir, who has just given me an opportunity, and to my guide Veda Brahmashri Ramanujam sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
So, there have been some slight changes here and there, but every paper has been accommodated. Veda Brahmashri Suresh has presented an excellent paper. Niruktam is not an easy topic, so it is a very tough topic. So sometimes it can get very boring because we don't see much pattern and much understanding, but we must see the principle behind that, and it has something to do with the speciality of the Sanskrit language itself, and it borders on what is called onomatopoeia. So where the sound and the sense come so close together that the speciality of the language is brought out, and the complexity of the concepts is also very well brought out. There is a difference between the Vaiyakarana approach and the Nairukta approach, and Mr. Suresh has brought out the speciality of the Nairukta approach very well. We thank him for his paper. Thank you very much, sir.